Hello traders, Joseph here again. Thank you so much for joining me on this week's edition of my Forex market preview. So in this video, I'm going to be going over a few cryptocurrency pairs and also a few of the major currency pairs. And I'll show you guys the technical levels that I'm going to be watching as we head into trading in the Forex market next week. I'll also show you guys potential setups that you need to keep your eye on. I'll try and give you guys both long-term and short-term kind of prediction on the markets. So obviously what you will notice in my analysis is the fact that I don't use just a single strategy to kind of analyze the market. I use like loads of different strategies, so that you guys, whatever you're looking for, whichever strategy that you guys are comfortable with. So hopefully you're gonna see bits and pieces in my analysis. So I don't want to focus on just a single thing, because I just want to be able to reach as many people as I can, basically. So I'm gonna walk my way from the top to the bottom. I'm gonna start on Bitcoin. Obviously you can see the first 1, 2, 3, 4 pairs I'm gonna be analyzing are all cryptos. So starting off with Bitcoin on the weekly chart, I'm gonna go on maximize this. So let's have a look. So we got the Bitcoin on a weekly chart. So what we're gonna notice is the fact that we had this huge move back here, which is one of the rallies that a lot of people were talking about when Bitcoin went all the way to almost 20,000. I think it did it touch 20,000? No, I didn't, but it went to almost 20,000, and then the markets kind of crashed and came all the way back down to around 3,000. So now we're slowly making our way up. We put in a nice impulse leg here, and the market is kind of giving you a corrective pattern here. So that's the overview of what the market is doing. So after this corrective pattern, we would expect the market to make another impulse leg. Now how high this impulse leg is gonna go, it depends. It depends if this is seen as a bigger correction, and then we're just getting a 1, 2, 3, and then we're gonna go down. Once we break the top, at any moment in time, we're gonna go down. But if this is not seen as a bigger impulse leg to the downside, then what will happen is, let me go on ahead and delete all of this. Yeah, so if you're taking this as your impulse leg followed by this correction, now we're likely to start another new impulse leg. We might even break the top over there. We might break the top at around 19,000. We might break that top. So but that's just the general overview of what could happen. However, if we try to go deeper, try to analyze a few things, look at what the market is currently doing. So let's try to focus on this correction. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try and focus all my attention on this correction right now, and try to give you prediction with with good facts on what the market is likely to do from this point onwards. So what we notice here is the fact that the market has put in a 1, 2, 3 as part of this corrective pattern. So usually once the market, or if you're a trader who likes bearish and bullish structure, then you can say, this is a bearish structure, because we got the impulse leg, we got the outside return, new structure high, and now the market is coming back down into the outside return and the previous initial structure high area. And that's usually an area. So if this market is going to be bearish, which we know obviously is not bearish due to the fact that we put in a huge impulse leg, so this could be the start of a new bullish structure. So this is how you have to look at the market, because there's just so many kind of things that you have to look at. Because if you're looking at this as a bullish structure, you're starting here, then your initial analysis is the fact that the market is going to come back, and somewhere within this area, within that structure and this structure, somewhere in this area, you would expect a reversal. You expect the market to reverse and continue down. But however, you are focusing, you're looking at this is your impulse. This is the bigger impulse leg. So that's why it's really important sometimes when you're doing analysis to look at the market on a higher time frame. But this is the bigger impulse leg. So this is just the one giant outside return of this bullish structure. So we got the initial the impulse here, we got the outside return, so we're actually going to make another high, breaking this structure, making this a bigger bullish structure. right? So let's focus on this. So if we're focusing this one as our outside return from the bullish structure, or the corrective pattern, or the 1 2 3, or the ABC pattern, if we're focusing on this, we would expect the market to come here. First of all, the first hurdle that we're gonna have to overcome is at this structure. So once the market get to this structure, we need to pay attention. You know, definitely we are going to that structure. So in the next few weeks, Bitcoin is going to go from its current position of 8,800 to around 10,500. That's definitely happening. So once Bitcoin gets to that level, so what it does after that level is what you need to pay attention to. So once it breaks this level, there is a chance that it could break this level, come back down, retest these lows, and then it's going to continue to rally. That is a possibility. While the other scenario is the fact that we just break this, get a minor correction, and then we continue going higher to break that high, putting in a nice bigger bullish structure. So these two scenarios, I've actually posted these two scenarios on my TradingView. So if you head over to my TradingView page right now, you can see the last chart I posted is based on the two scenarios that we're looking at. So there's no question about Bitcoin that the market is bullish on a higher time frame. So the question is, if we get to 10,500, what we gonna do from there? Are we gonna get a little correction and continue up, or the market is gonna pull back to the previous structure? And this actually happens a lot more than you guys would think. I don't know if you guys have seen the last video I did on the euro dollar. This is actually the exact trade on that. So it's just a complete opposite. So the market could pull back to the previous low. So how do you want to play it? Where you wait. If you're not in the trade already, you wait until the market gets to this structure, and then you pay attention to your RSI or your other things and look at the other indicators to see what they're telling you. If the RSI goes oversold here, then we're likely going to get either a pullback or a sell-off back to these lows. So that's my analysis on Bitcoin. I'm going to move over to Ripple right now. So we're looking at Ripple right now on a weekly time frame. So the first thing we're going to have to notice, let me delete all of this first of all. The first thing you're going to notice is the fact that Ripple has come into this this level, which has been a huge support level over the past year and a half or so. So the Ripple has come into that huge support level, which is now acting as which could act as a resistance. But is that gonna act as a resistance? Sometimes in trading I don't really pay too much attention to resistance and support, simply because they don't usually work. Well, they do work if you know how to trade them, if you know how to kind of if you're gonna use it in combination with other technical analysis, then they are gonna work. But I'm going to show you why in this case that this support is going to be absolutely useless. This resistance now is going to be absolutely useless. So let me bring in my RSI. This is my favorite indicator, the only indicator I use actually. So if you bring in the RSI, you can see what the market is doing. That coming into that level, the market has not even gone over. So the RSI is not even halfway there. So there is a chance that we are just gonna blow through this resistance. So let's go on the lower time frame and see what the market is doing. So looking at this on the lower time frame, the market coming into so on the lower time frame. However, we might get a different reading on the RSI. We could potentially get we are getting a different. So you can see the RSI is being close to oversold. So what I see happening, I see Ripple actually blowing through this resistance. Once the RSI goes to oversold, we're gonna get a minor correction here. And this resistance is going to be acting as a support here, just like it did over back here. Support, support, support. So we are going to get some kind of a correction or even a minor pullback before we head over to, in terms of like where Ripple could go. The potential is really endless, because if we look at this kind of like trend line that we have over here, put this on the weekly chart because it's going to be a lot easier to draw the trend line. So if you look at this minor trend line that we have over here, so let me just go back on the day, so you can see what is happening. So if we go over this resistance line, and if we get this correction, that will put us nicely way outside the trend line, and then it's going to be the start of a new bullish trend, like a long bullish trend that could go on. I mean, we could even break these highs of $3.22. So following on from my previous analysis on Bitcoin, you can see that Bitcoin is definitely bullish. It's putting in a bullish structure. You know, it's already made the first impulse leg, and it's in the process of breaking out of the outside return to form a new structure high. So with Bitcoin going up, Ripple is likely to follow as well. So moving over to Ethereum. So the first thing I'm going to notice on Ethereum is the fact that we are in this this falling wedge channel here over here. So we're kind of in this falling wedge channel, and usually this structure breaks to the upside. Now the question is, so you can see we're already kind of like we've broken out of the trend line. So now the question remains, if we get a correction here, so same situation that goes with Ripple as well. Let's just have a look at the RSI and see if we're again getting an oversold condition in RSI, so there's definitely going to be a reaction here. So we are going to get some kind of a correction here. So if we get a correction here, then that's going to give you a perfect buy setup, because this could also be the start of a long bullish trend. Is there a chance that the market could actually just reverse and retest the lows before going higher? Yes, there's absolutely a chance of that happening, but I don't see it. But if it does happen, then that's going to give you a perfect double bottom right here at the bottom here. So we see market, so it could actually come back all the way to these lows and give you a nice double bottom, which would also make the RSI probably going to go oversold as well. But I don't see it happening, but it could happen. So for now, just expect a correction in the coming days. I mean, the market might not even correct. You can just shoot straight up, like we're seeing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is just is going higher and higher, and that's what's going to happen in the next few weeks. So all the cryptocurrencies are all pointing towards being bullish. So the last one of them is Stellar. Go ahead and delete that RSI and see if we can see what's happening here. So with Stellar, the first level that you're gonna have to notice is this level here, where we had a huge support level over here. We broke that support level to the downside. Now the market has come back over that support level. Now if we are oversold on our RSI, we are likely to get a correction. Yeah, so Stellar is also likely to correct, or even might give you a pullback back to this support level before it takes off. But definitely we're bullish on Stellar as well. So all the cryptocurrencies, they're all, so far the ones I've analyzed, they're all bullish. But expect the market to give you a correction very soon, because the RSI, RSI on all of them is all pointing towards being oversold. So let's go over to Euro Dollar. Start doing the major currency pairs. So Euro Dollar is in a falling wedge as well, because this whole structure that we're seeing right here is a structure that usually breaks to the upside. But this is not going aggressively. This is kind of going in a sideways, we got this 1 2 3 sideways correction, and this usually comes back down to retest the lows before the market goes back up. So we're already seeing what that the euro is actually showing bearish signs. And if I take this on the lower time frame, I think this is the one from my last video when I told you about this break to the downside, where we had the same kind of structure we're having on the Bitcoin at the moment. We had this 1, 2, 3 here. The market broke the structure, went back up, retest the highs, and then it's falling back down. But regardless of whatever happens, this market is always gonna be is heading down, just like Bitcoin is heading up regardless of what happens. We might get a break, we might get a sell-off and hit retest the lows, but we're still gonna go up on Bitcoin. So with the euro as well, if you get a sell setup, then take it, because euro is heading down as well after making that correction on a higher time frame. So looking at this on the 4-hour time frame, like I said, this whole thing is a correction. The market is likely to make that correction effort. In terms of you being an advanced pattern, we might have an advanced pattern forming up. Do we? No, we don't. Well, we don't. If you trade shark pattern, we do have a 113 extension, so we are likely going to be forming a shark pattern, which will complete at the bottom of this structure, which is actually not going to be a bad idea. It might be a good idea to take that short. Let me just draw up the shark pattern for you guys that are probably wondering. So bring in my Fibonacci extension, swing high, swing low, back down again. Got the 113 extension. Let's bring in our triangle. X to A leg, A to B leg, B to C, C to D. So shark pattern will terminate somewhere at 108.40s. So obviously, if you guys are advanced pattern traders, that's something for you guys to pay attention on. So euro, short time is downside, long time is downside as well. Now long time is actually bullish if we break out of that channel. So moving over to the pound. So on the pound, we can see that the market is coming back down into this structure. We do have a little structure here. So this structure is going to act as a support for this level. So pound is upside, but watch for this structure. Look for a reversal of pattern inside this structure. I mean, we're currently getting something that looks like a, 1, 2, 3. So somewhere in here, look for a reversal pattern. So short term, and if you get a sell setup on the pound, take it. But it's very short term, because once we get into this this level, the market is likely going to give you. You're actually gonna get a huge rally from this level. So looking at it on the daily, on the shorter time frames. So let's go over to the 1 hour time frame. If we have a current trading opportunity on it, I don't see any trading opportunities. If this market gives you a flag, just sell it. That's all you gotta do. Just keep selling. If you get a sell setup here, take it, because we're heading down into that support channel. But it's gonna be short term, because once we break that lows, once we get into that support level, the market is gonna rally from there. Moving on to CAD. With CAD, if you're looking at this on a daily time frame, we can see the CAD is in a falling wedge channel here, which I'm expecting it to break to the upside here. So all this structure is a structure that usually breaks to the upside. So we're gonna get a move back up to the upside on the CAD. So if you get any buy opportunities, take it. In terms of short-term trades on the lower time frame, we're getting a flag already. So we're getting a flag already. So we got the move here, and the market is giving you a nice buy opportunity here. But this buy opportunity could be short-term, because if the market breaks over here, we could come back down to retest the lows before we go higher. That is a possibility. However, if you're gonna take the trade, take it. Once we break, move your stop loss to break even. Aussie dollar, higher time frame. See the daily chart. We've seen a similar structure to the euro dollar here. See, the market is coming down slowly in this channel. Now we're getting a corrective structure here, and this corrective structure usually breaks to the downside. So we could go downside, test those lows before we come back up. But this whole structure It's gonna break to the upside. Moving over to New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, we are seeing a structure. This is likely. I think I've done analysis on this a couple weeks ago. Expect this to crawl all the way back to the top, break that high, that top, and then the market could reverse, giving the whole of this as a correction. Yeah. So in terms of the short term, let's see if we do have any short term trading opportunity on the 1 hour time frame on the New Zealand dollar. We don't really have anything here, but we will have a mini falling wedge structure on this one as well. So this is a structure that usually breaks to the upside. So we can see the market has already broken. And what did I tell you about market breaking structure? This is the last structure here, yeah, that the market has broken. Breaks the structure, it doesn't mean you should buy, because if you check your RSI, you're going to see oversold conditions. So after breaking the structure, the market will come back down to retest the low. So in terms of the New Zealand dollar, you can look for the market to come back down into these lows, and from here expect it to go back up. So for now, you don't have a trade. If the market gets to this low, look for a buy setup, because we're going back up. Yen, dollar yen, higher time frame. Let's see if we have any potential trading opportunity on that. So higher time frame with the dollar yen. So we can see, you know, an impulse leg correction, right? And after this correction, the market will break to the upside. So but this correction could last a really long time, but expect this market to, you know, in the long term to break to the upside. But even if it breaks to the upside, where is it going? Because if you look back here, guys, this is the bigger impulse leg here, right? Just move this down a little bit. This is the bigger impulse leg, and this is the first correction. A, you know, B. But in the B, in the you know, you got the first correction, you got and you getting an ABC correction in the middle. So we got the A, B, C correction here. Market will break to the, and then we're gonna come back, retest the lows before we go higher. So expect yen to go higher to around 118, and then from there you can look for sell setups. Next one is the pound yen. Pound yen, we got a similar structure like the New Zealand yen here, then like the New Zealand dollar, excuse me. An impulse leg to the downside. We got this, we got this. Expect the yen to go tag the top, because this is an incomplete correction. So once the yen tags it, when the pound yen tags the top, then you can look for a sell setup to the downside. Euro yen, we can see that euro yen is kind of in a rising wedge here, so we might be getting a sell setup here on the euro yen, and if we get this, that's actually going to be a very good sell setup that will take us all the way down here to break that low. So on a short-term time frame, do we have any opportunity to trade? We don't really have any setup, but if you do get if you get a flag here, then take the trade. Moving over to US oil. US oil, I think I've done the same analysis on this one a couple weeks ago, where I'm expecting this market to kind of break this top. You see we came very close, but we didn't really break it. So expect this market to go back up and break the top, and from there we're gonna have the 1, 2, 3 correction here, and then we're heading down, following from this impulse leg. That's what we're gonna get. So expect this market to break the top. I think this is the same as the UK oil as well. Yeah, they have the same structure. So you expect that to break the top as well, and then head to the side. So this is gonna be the last one I'm gonna do. Germany 30. So look at this on a higher time frame. What's the market doing? So we can see that the market is approaching a huge a support level, a previous structure high on a daily time frame. And what is our RSI telling us? If the RSI is giving us any sign, then, well, the RSI is not oversold, so we could actually break those highs. We could decide we could break those highs and go higher. So in terms of trading opportunity, you don't have a counter trend trading opportunity. You're probably going to be looking for a trend continuation trading opportunity. And do we have any here? Well, look, we did have a nice buy setup here. If you're in that trade, keep it. Move your stop to break even. Because what did I tell you about breaking structure? This market could come back down, retest the lows before we go higher. We might get a bigger correction here near the top, and then we're going higher. Yeah, so this is it, guys, man. I think I'm gonna stop here, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to watch. And if you like this video, just hit the like button, you know, share it, you know, subscribe to the channel. Anything you do that helps, you know, I would appreciate it. And follow me, guys, on TradingView. And if you want to see all my posts on most of this analysis that I do post them on TradingView. I've been very active in the last couple weeks on TradingView, and I aim to keep it that way. And for you guys who are trying to, you know, join me on my trading group, head over to my website now. It's free for the first month. You don't have to pay anything. If you come in, you don't like it, no problem. But this is what I do in my trading group. All this analysis that you see, all these different kind of strategies that you see here, that's what I share with my traders. So once again, thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you guys next week.